Hi, everybody. I'm State Senator Todd Kaminsky. It's my job to represent Rockville Center up in Albany as part of your New York State government. I take votes to help make the laws that we all live under. So I'm a state senator, and I'm really happy to be able to represent Rockville Center. Today, I want to show you a book called This Little President, and it talks about some of the U.S. presidents who have gone before us and have done great helping make America what it is. So I'd like to read this to you now. It says, leading our country, helping you and me, keeping all 50 states safe, happy, and free. And I want to show you all the presidents that you'll see in this book. You will see Presidents Teddy Roosevelt, President John Adams, President Barack Obama, President Franklin Roosevelt, President Abe Lincoln, see you'll know him from his beard and his top hat, President John F. Kennedy, President Ulysses Grant, President Thomas Jefferson, this is President George Washington, President Thomas Jefferson, and President Ronald Reagan. So now let's learn about all of them. This is George Washington. This little president flew flags red, white, and blue. He was our first leader when this nation was new. George Washington was the first president of the United States of America. And this is a picture of him crossing the Delaware River when he was the general in the Revolutionary War. And after we won the war against Britain to become a free country, he became our first president. Now for our second president, John Adams. This little president led with wisdom and care. When the White House was first built, he was the first to live there. John Adams was also the first vice president, and this is him with his wife, Abigail Adams. This is John and Abigail Adams, the first to ever live in the White House. Now, when George Washington was the president, the White House wasn't built yet, but by the time John Adams came around, it was. Now for our third president, Thomas Jefferson. This little president was super duper smart. He liked buildings, inventions, books, fossils, and art. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. See, this was the document that said we should be free from Britain. So all these three people, George Washington, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson, were all founding fathers of our country. Now we're going to skip to some later presidents, starting with Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president. This little president was honest as can be. He kept our states united and set people free. Abraham Lincoln was the tallest president and the first one to wear a beard. He helped us win the Civil War and help free the slaves. A very special president, Abraham Lincoln. Now we'll move on to Ulysses Grant. Now, when Abraham Lincoln was the president, winning the Civil War, his top general was Ulysses Grant. And Ulysses S. Grant ran for president and became the president a short time later. This little president could really horseback ride. He was a brave general with patriotic pride. Ulysses S. Grant made Christmas a federal holiday. Okay, now we're going to go all the way to the 20th century. And in, I believe it was 1901, Teddy Roosevelt becomes the president. He was from New York, just like us. This little president was a cowboy ranch hand. He made national parks and preserved forest land. Theodore Roosevelt inspired a candy store to sell toy bears they called teddy bears. So the teddy bear is named after President Teddy Roosevelt. He's actually from Long Island and lived up in Oyster Bay, and you can visit his home on Sagamore Hill. Now this is his cousin. About 20 years later, about 30 years later, became the president, Franklin Roosevelt. He's also from New York. You may know him as FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. This little president told people not to fear. He gave jobs to Americans, which made them all cheer. Franklin Roosevelt was the first president in a wheelchair. See, even though he had polio as a child and couldn't walk, he did not let that get in his way. He became the president of the United States and served for a very long time during World War II. Now, John F. Kennedy. This is probably the first president we're getting to that you and your grandparents and everyone were alive to see. This little president had heart, style, and grace. He sent our first astronaut to outer space. John F. Kennedy was the youngest president ever elected. Here's John F. Kennedy, also known as JFK. We have JFK Airport right near us, named after him. And there he is with the astronauts because he helped develop our space program. Now we're into a president that was alive during my lifetime, Ronald Reagan. There he is holding jelly beans. This little president was once a movie star. He brought the world together both near and far. Ronald Reagan was the oldest president ever elected. There's Ronald Reagan. He was from California. And now is Barack Obama. This little president is a family man. When others say we can't, he declares, yes, we can. Barack Obama, the first African-American president of the United States of America. And then here's just a list of all the other presidents, because there have been quite a few, not as many as special as the ones we've read. And if you're ever interested, you can get this book called This Little President to learn all about our presidents. I'm really glad I got to read with you today to learn about the history of our country, and I hope to see you again in person. Bye, boys and girls.